Former U.S. President Donald Trump has raised eyebrows by making a peculiar promise to imprison his political opponents upon a potential return to the White House. Vergil Parba has the details.
In a recent interview with broadcaster Glenn Beck, former President Donald Trump declared that if he were to return to the presidency, he would have no choice but to lock up his political adversaries, citing a perceived need to respond in the kind of actions taken against him. During the conversation, Beck brought up Trump's campaign trail promise to lock up Hillary Clinton, his opponent in the 2016 elections. Trump, who did not act on the promise during his tenure, suggested that circumstances have now changed. He explained, quote, "The answer is you have no choice because they're doing it to us," end of quote. Trump has previously encouraged the crowd to chant the words "lock her up," targeting his political rival. However, he faces legal challenges, including civil claims by Eugene Carroll, who accused him of sexual assault in the 1990s. Trump, however, said that he never met her. Furthermore, investigations into his business dealings have added to his legal woes. The former president has been impeached twice, indicted 4 times, and confronted 91 charges. Trump claimed that Biden had orchestrated all the indictments against him and that all of them were brought by prosecutors not associated with the White House. It can be noted that Trump faced multiple indictments, 44 by the Justice Department Special Counsel Jack Smith, 34 by the Manhattan District Attorney Alvin Bragg, and 13 by Fannie Willis, the District Attorney of Fulton County, Georgia. Reporting, this has been Vergil Parba, SMNI News.
In the United States, Hurricane Idalia devastated Florida's Gulf Coast on Wednesday, bringing torrential rains and powerful winds. Jean Domingo reports.
Hurricane Idalia's torrential rain and floods brought havoc in Florida. Image filmed in the streets of Tampa, Florida, showed fallen trees, destroyed infrastructure and property, downed power lines, poles, and damaged residential structures, while residents describe the challenging conditions. Originally categorized as a monster hurricane, the storm was downgraded to a Category 1 with sustained winds of 75 miles per hour as it pushed inland, with its sights set on the historic city of Savannah. Local reports say at least 2 people died due to Hurricane Idalia, while Tampa Bay experienced water levels exceeding 4.5 feet, surpassing the previous record set by Tropical Storm Ida in 2020. Bayshore Boulevard experienced flooding, but the most devastating inundation occurred along the Alafi River in Riverview, Hillsborough County. Idalia then weakened into a tropical storm as it turned its fury on the southeastern part of Georgia, resulting in flooding that trapped some residents inside their homes, and over 200,000 Floridians face power outages. Reporting for News and World, this has been Jean Domingo, SMNI News.
Thailand plans to ease visa rules for Chinese and Indian travelers, as well as allow citizens from all nations to stay longer in the country. Chatman Contisa Maiguzon reports.
Thailand's newly elected Prime Minister Srettha Thavisin is looking for ways to boost tourism revenue to nearly $100 billion in 2024.
Chinese travelers were the largest group of the visitors to have visited Thailand before the COVID-19 pandemic, with 11 million of them to have visited Thailand in 2019. Chinese visitors, however, face a costly and complicated visa application process to enter Thailand, while Indian travelers need to pay 2,000 baht for a 15-day visa arrival. Newly elected Prime Minister Srettha Thavisin said he is planning to ease visa and immigration rules as well as increase state limits for most international travelers. Srettha is also in talks with several airport executives and airlines to discuss ways on how to attract more foreigners in the fourth quarter. The new government aims to boost tourism revenue from foreign tourists to 3.3 trillion baht. Thai tourism officials previously said they are hoping for 2 million Russian tourists to visit the kingdom next year.
Meanwhile, Thailand has recorded 17.57 million foreign visitors so far this year and is targeting about 28 million international arrivals by the end of the year. รายงานจากราชบุรี นายชัดมงคลพิสมัยโกศล SMN News ประเทศไทย สวัสดีครับ
India warned the United States that pressuring Bangladesh over the upcoming general elections may push the South Asian country to get closer to China. Anisa de Guzman has the details.
In recent interactions, Indian authorities have expressed their concerns to U.S. officials, stating that excessive pressure on the issue of free and fair elections could lead to unintended consequences. Indian officials made the warning after the U.S. threatened to impose possible visa sanctions against Bangladeshi individuals linked to actions that undermine the electoral process. The Indian also warned that such pressure might inadvertently empower extremist elements and destabilize the region. Aside from threats of visa sanctions, the U.S. also imposed sanctions on Bangladesh paramilitary force, the Rapid Action Battalion, RAB, and senior officials in December 2021. Meanwhile, Chinese President Xi Jinping showed support towards India's concerns for Bangladesh during his meeting with Prime Minister Hasina on the sidelines of the BRICS summit. During the meeting, Xi supported Bangladesh's stance against external interference and emphasized mutual respect and non-interference in internal affairs. Over the years, China has been the #1 provider of military personnel training and military hardware to Bangladesh. Both countries has established nearly 50 years of diplomatic ties, while their strategic partnership was further enhanced through the Belt and Road Initiative. Di siya Anisa de Guzman, Draganchak Kuntep Mahanapon, SMNA News, Protektay, Sawadika.